Air Canada employees are still off the job despite an order by the Federal Industrial Relations Board to return to work. Let's get more from Michael Rousseau, President and CEO of Air Canada. Michael, thank you very much. You're a busy man, to put it mildly. Really appreciate it. You were listening to the union briefing there. They are defiant, the union president saying, I'm willing to go to jail here. What was your reaction to what you heard from the union?
Well, good afternoon, Andrew. So I was really disappointment for our customers. Over 500,000 customers have been influenced or impacted by this illegal strike, and we want to see an end to it. And so, the fact that they said what they said over the last half hour or so is continues to disappoint us.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're getting a bit of stop and start on the line there. I really appreciate you giving us the time here. The union said Air Canada will not fly today. Is that correct? Are you grounded?
Yes. So we had to cancel all our flights today, roughly between 500 and 600 flights we had to cancel today. We're obviously hoping we can go tomorrow, but we'll make that decision later today.
You quoted a figure of 500,000 people. Obviously, it's a moving target, but you think that's the number at least that will have their plans disrupted?
That's correct. 500,000 and growing, unfortunately, each day. We're doing our best to reaccommodate customers, to find them. No time here is very easy with holidays and other activities, and so the number of available seats on other planes are limited at this point in time.
What efforts did you make in advance to secure seats for passengers in the event of a strike? You can't do that. We have agreements with over 100 different airlines to access their inventory. And so we stepped into that as soon as the strike happened. But you didn't make any provisions before to ensure that passengers, or at least some of them, would get to where they're going?
Well, we thought, obviously, the Section 107 would be enforced and that they wouldn't illegally avoid the Section 107.
Right. So you made no provision because you didn't realize the union would do this.
They gave us no indication they would do this.
Right. You have suspended your financial forecast. Obviously, that's a decision no company makes lightly, but you thought you would do this now. Yeah,
we think it was a prudent thing to do, given where we are today. Obviously, we've provided guidance to the market for many years, and we will continue that practice once we get a better clarity on when we start flying.
So these flight attendants are, I believe, about 10,000 of your workforce, which is 37,000. Canaccord estimates that the proposed wage hikes would be up to 140 million in incremental costs, about 2% of the wage base. It doesn't sound like a huge amount, your proposed increases anyway. Could you not go a little further and try to end this strike?
Well, we would love to end it. And just to give you a high-level view of what our proposal is, because we've been public with our proposal. We issued a document on the 14th, just a couple of days ago. We have an overall total compensation proposal of roughly 40%. Over 4 years. And we think that is excellent. That will result in our flight attendants being the best compensated flight attendants in Canada, bar none. And that's something we had always committed to. And so that was our last offer at approximately 40% over 4 years. So, and that's, a lot of that's wages and some of that are benefits and other important aspects to our flight attendant community.
Just clarify this business of the flight attendants apparently not paid until the plane takes off. What are you? They're not paid when they're on the ground. I think a lot of people would find that surprising. What are you doing about that?
Okay. Well, first of all, that model exists in virtually every airline in the world. And so the rates for the time they are paid are, for the most part, compensating these and after the plane gets to its destination. So that's point number one. Point number two, there are only 2 or 3 other airlines in the world just recently that introduced what's called ground pay. Our proposal, that, and it's 40% that I just mentioned, our proposal includes a concept for ground pay. And so we're fine with the concept. And we believe what we offer from a ground pay perspective will be market leading. And so we've addressed that situation.
Why not just pay them for the time they're on the job? It seems unfair that I'm reporting for duty, I have to be there, but I'm not getting paid for some of the time.
Yeah, again, it's a good question. It's the business model that the vast majority of airlines follow around the world. I think it's easy from an administrative point of view, but again, the rates that we pay for the time they are flying or back away from the gate and arrive at the gate do compensate for the extra work.
John Gradek is a lecturer at McGill University. He published an op-ed. He said, on his analysis, I reckon that the flight attendant wages would need to rise by about 33% to match the flight attendants' purchasing power back in 2014. So it sounds like their wages have stagnated or worse over the past decade or so.
I don't think Mr. Gradek is correct in that. We just came off a 10-year deal with our flight attendants. And that 10-year deal was important because it allowed us to grow. And a vast majority of our employees are better off today than they were 10 years ago. Now, within that contract, there were annual increases that were built in. And over that period of time, inflation was around 25, 28%, I believe. And the wage increases, for the most part, over that period of time, covered inflation. So I think if you look at the real numbers, I think our employees have done well, but we understand the inflation did spike, and that's why we're offering a total compensation package of 40%, which is much higher than what you would otherwise potentially get.
This is, I understand, the first full Air Canada shutdown because of a labour dispute since 1998, a pilot strike?
I believe so. That was before my time, but I believe so. Yeah, again, it's very, very disappointing from our perspective, especially when it's unlawful. And the impact to our customers. I mean, obviously, people want to go someplace, the business meetings. We move cargo, so we do a lot of things for the Canadian economy, and let alone move people to their vacations and seeing their loved ones. This has been devastating for our customers.
And of course, you pull off a daily miracle in the sense, I think your normal day you'd fly about 130,000 people. I mean, that's a pretty incredible thing. And you're not moving bales of cotton, you're moving people. They have to be moved safely. So it's quite an achievement on a normal day.
No, it is a complex operation, and we do a very good job at it. It's going to be complex restarting the airlines. It's going to take us, a week, maybe more, to do that, but we want to start as soon as possible, and that's why we need to find a solution to what's happening here, given the unlawful actions of CUPE.
I suppose I should close with an unpleasant question. This happened on your watch. It's a disaster, 500,000 people. Many of them have had their vacations ruined. Have you considered resigning and handing over to somebody else who could solve this thing?
No, I haven't considered resigning. I think I have an incredible background. I've been with the company for almost 20 years, chief financial officer for many of those, and CEO for the last 4.5. So I think I am quite capable, along with my incredible team, to manage this situation.
Michael, thank you very much for giving us the time on what I know is a busy and difficult day for you. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Take care.
Michael Rousseau, President and CEO of Air Canada.